Hey guys, a warm welcome. My name is Veena, and every Saturday we bring a chat show to you. We bring a guest, a special guest to you, so that we can talk about basketball, learn from their experiences, answer some questions from you, and learning never stops. That's what we keep saying, that keep playing and keep learning. So, playing maybe still a lot of places there is lockdown going on, but a lot of places that are still opened up. Uh, but by listening also, by talking also, you can learn a lot. And today we have a special guest with us from USA. We have Apoorva Muralinath with us. So let me just add her to the stream and let's start talking to her. She is from India. Yes, I am sure a lot of you have seen her. Uh, but from last so many years, I'll have to calculate. She will only tell us. From last many years, she is in US now, and she is a NCAA Division III Dean College coach. In case you guys are looking for a scholarship abroad, you would have heard about NCAA. But we will discuss about it, and of course, we will learn a lot from Apurva today. Thank you, Apurva, for your time. Thank you for joining in.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So you were a known player here. You were playing in the basketball team, Indian basketball team, and you were a good player. So what made you think that you will leave everything? You had a job as well, right? Because lot of players, young players, when I talk to them, what they are looking at is a job. They want to play nationals because they think they have
Yeah.
chances of getting a job and getting settled. That's what how Indian mentality works. Once you're 18, 19, your parents start putting pressure on you. What are you going to do in case you have not played nationals till now? How will you get a
Yeah.
job? And once they get a job, they feel settled. You are settled in all the Indian prospects, in all the Indian ways that we talk about. You were settled, but still you thought of leaving everything and just going abroad and being a coach. So how did this all came to your mind?
I had like for the longest I have ever known, I wanted to play for the Indian national team. I wanted to play for India. That has been like my long-term goal. So ever since I got there, I knew I got this. I started playing for the Indian team, and then I hit a place where I got offered with Southern Railway job, and I stayed with the job for 5 years. And then one day in my head, I was like, "What's next? I need to have an ambition in life. I need to move forward. I need to like keep like having new things in life. I need to keep getting better. I need to learn." And I thought, you know what? I need to become a coach. And then what other place then you can come to the US? And then I already had a chance to come here, like probably in 2016, just to visit for 3 months. And then I started looking around for opportunities. I kind of understood how things work here. So then I came back again in 2017, and I stayed here for another 2 years, and I understood the system even more better. And in 2019, finally, I went back and I said, you know what, I need to take the step forward. So I'm gonna quit my railway job. I'm gonna pursue coaching even more seriously. I'm gonna become a serious coach, and I decided to quit my job and I moved here. And I think that's the best decision I've made till now.
Okay, so but were your parents in support? Were supportive? Because you were well settled, to tell you the truth, in India, and taking a new step is
Yeah.
always risky. And our mind is somehow wired to not take risks. If you're in a comfort zone, it's very difficult to kick that comfort zone and come out of it. So was everyone supportive of your thought or your step?
I come from a family filled with like athletes, especially basketball players, right? So initially, my parents definitely are and were supportive. But when I was about to quit my job, my dad and mom asked me, "See, you are passionate about it. There's no turning back. You can't like this is like a government job that you're gonna give up. It's like you have job security till you turn 60. So how confident are you about this career, and how do you want to choose it?" For some reason, I just knew it in my gut. I knew that, I have to do it because if I'm going to try and stay comfortable and hold on to this job, how else am I going to like get better and move forward? I've always had that question in mind. So I think I put myself in an uncomfortable situation so that I can challenge myself and try to get out of it and work harder to get out of it. And I liked it. And the minute I told this to my parents, they just asked me one question, and they understood that I was confident, and then they said, you know what, we will stand by you no matter what it is. So I want to say I'm lucky that way.
Yes, yes, I'm sure. And now, of course, you are with the teen college. So just tell us like how it is coaching with the reputed college there, because coaching culture, I'm sure you must be comparing the coaching culture. It just happens. It's not that intentionally you would be doing it, but it just comes to your mind because you are from India. You stayed here, you learned here, you had coaches here, you have seen, very closely how the coaching culture is in India, and then you're there.
Right.
So it's entirely different. So how do you see?
When I initially came here, it was a cultural shock for me. I would want to say, I'm not talking about anything outside basketball. I'm just talking about how just a overall athlete is like trained and what goes into training an athlete, like just any athlete. Give it like, say volleyball, or say it like soccer. Every athlete itself is trained in a very different way. Just the exposure to the game at the young age is way higher than what we can even imagine. Like for example, a 5-year-old in India would be like considered as a kid or a baby, and then like we wouldn't like push them into a sport right away. But I think here you have like all these small leagues and AU leagues, town team, travel team. So the exposure that they get when they are young is what they grow their fundamentals on. They just like get it so well when they're young. They have so many things to learn, and I don't think we get that kind of exposure unless and until we get into a junior team, or like even a senior team for that matter. Like the amount of exposure they get when they're young. I coach an AAU team. It's a seventh grade team. I coach for CMF basketball, and I took the team for a Philadelphia tournament. We went to Philadelphia like probably before 2 weeks, and that's a seventh grade team I'm talking about that travels from one state to another state to play against like other state kids. So I don't think we have that level of competition back in India. I mean, we used to look at them as kids. I want to say kids learn fast. So the more exposure they get at the younger age, the better they're going to understand the sport or whatever it is, for a matter of fact. Yeah.
Right, but there is a I don't know the exact term what it is used, but don't you think if they start young, it's just a possibility. Every child is different then, but then don't they tire out or lose interest by the time they're like 18 if they're starting at 5? Do you think it can just backfire? Maybe
Uh,
not sure.
yes, there is a possibility to lose interest, and there is a possibility to wear the kid off. But see how basketball is a seasonal game here, right? So you don't do it morning, evening, like 360 days every year. It's a seasonal game. Like you have fall season, and the season goes on for like 2 months, and then you have like a spring season. It goes on for a month. Like it's just like a month or two, and then you have practices. It's not practices in the morning and in the evening. It's just a practice a day, and then you try to like just cultivate the team spirit, and you cultivate just basics, and like they don't overdo it. For some reason, when I look at it here, it's not before school. It's not like it's not forced on them, and like I feel the fun aspect is not gone. The way that they teach it, even as a coach, I have a lot of fun. Even as a coach, like on the court and off the court is two different things for me. When I like when I'm with the kids on the court, it's just like two how do I say it? We are in a zone. And then once off the court, we're all goofy. It's just fun. It's just very seasonal. And when it's done seasonal, right? By the time you come back to the second season, you already forgot whatever, if you really lost it, you will come back for your friends, you'll come back for your team, you'll come back for winning. You have so many different purpose that's calling you back inside. So I would say as long as what I've seen, the number of people who are losing interest is very limited because it's become seasonal.
So there is a balance maybe maintained, the amount of time you're playing, and then there is off time, and then you're playing again, and then off time. So it just
Yes.
balances that you have still interest to come back.
Yes.
Okay, so as a coach, you said
Mm-hmm.
you're goofy also, so that means you're friendly also with your team, right? So, but how do you maintain that? Because what we have seen is like coaches are little stricter, and I'm not sure. Like, I'm just talking about myself. Like, what I experienced was that there was no friendliness between the coach and the player ever. You know. So, how do you take this? Like, how a coach can be a friend as well?
So as soon as you understand not every kid is the same, like you can't treat them the same way. There can be there's tough love, there's someone who you don't have to speak to that much, there's someone you have to yell at, there's someone you have to just communicate with words, communicate with actions. So the minute you understand that all kids work different ways, and end of the day a younger kid comes in there to have fun. So you need to understand, even if you're trying to implement a lot of things, you need to bring it back to a place where it's fun. Yes, I am strict too. Like, sometimes I just lose it. Like when I'm trying to teach something and all the kids are like not focused, I would lose it. I would like, make them run a suicide. And then after that, end of it, I would like try to like, bring in some team spirit. If you are a good coach, you will have to learn to balance it out, especially with the upcoming generation, because I don't think they understand tough coaching. Not all of them, sorry if I'm just generalizing this. Not all of them respond to tough coaching now. Like, you need to understand that what kind of kid you're dealing with, and give them what they're looking for to get the best out of them. It's just meeting them halfway and giving them what they want, and you get what you want. It's a very I coaching is an art, and whoever said that said it right.
Right, absolutely. Coaching is an art, and again, you have to maintain a balance between the two. So, is it easy to be a player or is it easy to be a
Yes,
coach? Because you have
yes.
been in both the shoes. So,
Say that again, and I didn't hear that.
so is it easy to be a player? Like, because maybe you're just playing and going back home and sleeping, or is it easy to be a coach? When you
Oh
have
my
the
God!
responsibility.
When I was an athlete, I thought, oh my God, I wanted to become a coach. That's the best job in the life. You don't have to run, you don't have to do anything. You just have to stand there and instruct. I take it all back. It's so difficult to be a coach. It is not easy at all. I would play any day. Like I would become an athlete. I would pick it over coach any day, because you have absolute control of what you can do if you're an athlete. Sometimes you can influence your team, sometimes you can influence a teammate, right? You'll have good days, but whatever you do as an athlete, you have control over it. But as a coach, you have control over nothing. Like like you'll have the best of best player, and it will be an off day for her, and your contribution towards it will be like nothing. You can't do anything at that place, right? So the amount of control you have as a coach is very limited over an athlete. Like if you're a player, it's absolutely different. So I choose being an athlete.
So much more easier, to be an athlete. Okay, now you realize that, once you're in a
Yeah,
coach's shoes, then you realize, what must be they going through when they were standing outside and, shouting at you that what is happening, and every coach
right.
wants to win, like every player, every coach also wants to win.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
is going on in your mind, I think, when you're standing there, that we have
That's
practiced
true.
so much. Yeah, yeah, everything was taken care of during the practice. So why is it not working right now? So that's the
Yeah.
thing going on right now, I think, while the matches are on. Okay, so I will just take a off-track question, like because COVID situation is still not under control in India. I'm sure you
Uh-huh.
have relatives here, and you know how the situation is still. There are still cases coming on. But as
Hmm.
you said that you were going for matches, and we keep seeing that now everything is coming back to normal in US. In fact, few of my friends told me that they're not even wearing the mask now. So how is it like where you are?
Right now in the state that I am in, I live in Massachusetts. So there we have a law that says that in outdoor and in indoor, if you're completely vaccinated, you don't have to have a mask on. And even before that, when we went in for tournaments, kids played the whole basketball game with the mask on. We had the mask on. We did not take the mask off. And like initially when they came out of the COVID situation, it was very difficult for them to like even practice with the mask on. But then you know what? You get used to things. You get used to a certain kind of breathing. You get used to at times at practice we did have kids tire down easier, and we had because the amount of oxygen going into your body is absolutely less when you have the mask on, right? But I think we started adapting. With in practice we had the mask on, we didn't go anywhere without the mask on, so we started doing things with the mask on. And then um, we had a couple of games with the mask on, and it got easier for them to play with the mask on. And there were times that kids would run out of breath faster, but adaptation was happening simultaneously. And I think it right now slowly the mask rule is coming down. Like I said, no mask on when you have if you're fully vaccinated, and most of my kids are almost fully vaccinated. So we still keep an mask on, optional mask on policy at practice. So most of them still have the mask on if they're not vaccinated, to just keep themselves safe. So we do make sure that we sanitize, we clean, we are making sure that we remind them to wash their hands and whatever it is. Even though you're vaccinated, all these are your hygiene habits that you should carry forward as well. So better
Right.
safe than sorry.
Right, absolutely, but here still the situation is, though a lot of cities have opened up again, but from last 3 months everything was shut. I'm sure you would know that,
Hmm.
still,
Yeah,
still in Karnataka
I
everything is
was in
shut, I
India
think.
before 2 months.
Yes, 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 and now people are from India are not allowed actually because my friend wants to
Right,
fly, but
right.
she's not allowed right now. US is not allowing the Indian citizens to come
Yes,
and
I know.
visit.
We have a travel ban. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were here, we heard about that you would be opening up like an academy in Chennai, and of course, why not? Because when you have an experience abroad, which is very different than and very, better, I would say, better
Mhm.
than what it is right now in India. So you bring in your experience, you bring in your talent, of course, and give it to the country.
Yeah.
So what is the whole thought like? And what is the have you taken any step towards it? Have you started the procedure yet?
I so with the academy, right? This is what I wanted to say. Coaching is like fine wine. The more you let it sit, the better it's gonna get. With age and with experience, with number of repetitions, you're gonna get more knowledge. And I feel that I need to learn a lot more things, a lot more things. Definitely, opening an academy is gonna happen down the lane. But I want to say, I don't want to be someone who would say, what, I know it all. I know it all. I know it all is that's when you stop growing. That's when you don't know a lot of things. That's when you stop yourself from learning more. So I think I still have a lot more time to get there and be more confident in opening an academy. I can open an academy and give you no quality. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to opening an academy not just for basketball players but for athlete itself, how to develop a good athlete, strength, nutrition, educating them about all the other aspects, sleep, about how to train around menstrual cycle for women. A lot of aspects goes in there. And it's not about just telling them about it, it's teaching them about it. Because if you tell someone something, they would just probably not take it in. But if you teach someone something, it will be carrying it forward to the next generation. They will pass on it to the next generation. So my whole aspect is to teach and not just give them the knowledge and just say, I have this academy so you can come in and train. It's my vision is very different, to be honest.
Okay, you mentioned everything. I would just pick up one thing because I was just talking to a BFI official a few weeks back. He was there on our show, and we just picked up Satnam Singh's case, because of the drug case that
Yeah.
happened. So he said a lot of players don't know about it, that what they are consuming. As you mentioned, that nutrition will be there, menstrual cycle and sleep, and other aspects that an athlete must know. Uh, Though I asked them that it should be BFI's responsibility only to teach the athletes what they are eating. So, do you think that's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
important aspect that every athlete should know that what they're eating, and maybe it may have some ingredients which, if you give a test, it may result a positive or something like that can happen.
Forget an athlete. Anyone for a matter of fact should know what am I putting into my body. is this giving me energy to sustain for the day? Am I physically going to be active for today? And whatever food I'm taking in, is it going to provide me the energy for the day? So people like don't understand. They think they're supposed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner because it's a routine, and like, it's gonna give me like energy for the day. Know what you put into your body. You need proteins to grow your muscles. You need, like, it depends. It's not about just like knowing it. It's about understanding it. Like, the once you understand what you put into your body, I think you will start educating yourself more about it. You will start gaining knowledge. You will want to know more so that you can, like, nutrition goes a long way. Like, if you have a dip in performance, I would say the first place that you have to take back and take a look back would be nutrition and rest. Like, if you fix these two main aspects, then your performance will start getting better. Not a lot of people actually pays a lot of attention to it. They'd be like, oh, I didn't play well, and probably an off day for me, an off season for me. It's not an off day and an off season. It's mindset, nutrition, and rest. Like, it's just like, understand that the more energy you give your body, you'll be able to perform better on the court. It's just very interlinked, and we just need to educate ourselves more about it.
Right, absolutely. Nutrition is very important. Okay, so there is a question that has come up, and there were a few, of course, when I wrote that NCAA coach, so you can understand the type of questions that would be coming. So, what qualifications or certifications are required to be a coach in states? That's the question from Chintan.
In the states, so I when I initially came in here, I did something called the USA Gold License Certification. It is an online certification that I did so that I can gain more knowledge about how the system works. More than certification, you just need to have more, like, knowledge about how basketball works and where you're coaching it. Who are your audience? What are you focusing your key focuses on? Because for me, over basketball, it was also strength. So I did a lot of strength certifications as well. I did, like, a certification from ACE, American Council on Exercise. I did a couple of nutrition certifications. So if you ask, I also did a certification from PGC College, guard college, how they teach basketball. Like, uh, if you are well versed in basketball, and if you don't know how to become a coach, you have so many different coaching certifications where, like, how to be a good coach, what are the different kinds of coaching, what are the different kinds that you can, like, like, there's so many different aspects. It's a very, very broad topic, to be honest.
Okay, and now you are NCAA coach, but what if somebody wants to come there? So is there scope? I know there is scope for players because recently I'm sure you would also know that a lot of players who were playing with the NBA Academy, they have got opportunities in US. We will talk about
Mm-hmm.
that as well, but there is a connecting question with it that if an Indian coach wants to go to US, is there future?
Mm-hmm. If an Indian coach wants to come to the US, what are his ways, is what you're asking?
Yes.
I would want to say look up for open options, right? Like, I'm not too sure how to, like, explain this. Your qualification, like, they'll call in for interviews, they'll test your knowledge, they'll ask, how skillful you are. Like I said, it's not like I'm gonna, like, take an Indian and, like, just open an interview, and, like, if you're gonna give me in, if, like, they are hiring a coach, they won't call you in for an interview right away. And for me, it took me 2 3 years or 4 years of constant, like, to understand the system. It took a lot more time than to just, like, jump in and start saying, I'm a coach, so I can, like, understand the system. There's something called recruiting people. There's something called, like, how do you communicate with parents here? First of the basic here would be your accent. You'll have a problem with, like, just communicating to people. There are so many different terms that we learn in American English and British English is so different. So I know, like, everyone wants to become a coach, but then again, the groundwork that you want to do just to get here, and the field work. I was a volunteer coach for, like, I want to say 3 years. I didn't take any money, just, like, gaining experience, gaining knowledge. So that was very different. Then it taught me what I was lacking and what I need to get better at. And then from there, I started giving interviews. And then it was not given to me, right? It was just getting out there, putting myself in uncomfortable situation. Like I said, from 2017 to 2019, volunteer coach. Didn't take money. It's just field work. Yeah. So if you're ready to do all of that, then yeah, like you
I
really
hope,
have
Chintan,
to
you
prove
got your
yourself in
answer.
this field.
Yeah, Chintan, I hope you got your answer, because that means you need to have a backup as well. When you're
Yes,
volunteering, you understand that you
yes,
are not paid anything. That means you're taking care of your own expenses. So you need to, of course, have a backup
that's exactly
when you're
what
there
I did. Everything
and
was taken
volunteering.
care of. Exactly. So if you're someone who can self provide for yourself for 3 or 4 years, just to come here to learn. Forget coaching, forget, like, you can't like come here and coach directly. You can coach basketball, but you need the language. You need the skill set. You need to know the local audience. You need to know how to reach to them, like, how to connect to them. There are so many aspects that goes beyond, because our upbringing and where we were born and our everything is different, and it's everything different here. So that is going to be like a really stepping stone for people to understand that, hey, I can't become just another coach here.
Right. So 3 years, you managed, and then now,
Yes,
of course,
definitely.
you are there.
Yeah,
Now, of
yeah,
course, you're there, and that means you crossed those hurdles of for 3 years, and
right,
now you're
right.
well settled as a coach there. Okay. Now there is
Uh-huh.
this question from Vignesh. He says, so now, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? So this is not an interview going on, Vignesh, but still, in case Apoorva, you want to take this question, you can.
Where do I see myself for the next, okay,
5 years.
5 years from here? I would still, like I said, again, I'm repeating this, coaching is like fine wine. The more time you have in the field, the better you're going to become as a coach. 5 years from now, I would be a better coach. Where, how, when, all that I don't know. I know I'm going to gain the experience. I will be learning. I will be doing more certification. I'll be a better coach. I will be there.
Okay, so we compared the coaching scenarios, but now there is this question of comparing the Indian gameplay and the American gameplay. So, what difference do you see?
See how, like, the basic of the infrastructure that we have, right? I would want to say the infrastructure that we have back in India and what they have here provides an athlete to get faster, better overall. Like, gameplay is like, you can go out on a concrete floor 24/7. Like, you can't like play your elite level or give the best performance all the time on a concrete floor. The first time I played on a concrete floor, and then I was introduced to a wooden floor, I was bouncing off it. I didn't even know that wooden floor can give you that extra cushion to bounce off. And all these kids are given that kind of infrastructure from young. So obviously the gameplay, the wear and tear of the muscles are going to be less comparing to where we are. So the skill level gets to a different place comparing an Indian play, because they get faster because the muscles don't get as easy as our muscles do. So it has a lot of things to it too.
Yeah, right, absolutely. A lot of difference that can be counted on. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. So there was one question right now. I think I'm not sure if he's watching or no. So there was one question on Instagram that I received. NCAA, of course, if you get through a scholarship, nothing like it. Lot of players don't know about it yet in India. Of course, now because of Google, because of NBA Academy, yes,
yes,
NBA Academy has done a lot. Maybe there are a lot of opinions about what are they doing for Indian players, but that's something else. But what they're doing for young players, at least opening them up to to some possibilities. And
yeah,
yes, I have seen NBA Academy students going abroad and studying there on full
hmm,
scholarship. So that's
yes,
a big
yes,
thing. Yeah. So we will just discuss about at what age a player should start preparing for NCAA, because if they're not getting through NBA Academy, that doesn't mean that they cannot get NCAA. They can still get an NCAA opportunity, but
exactly,
a lot of people
exactly.
don't know about it at all.
Yes. So you can apply it like, so for example, if you're doing your UG and then you want to become like a PG graduate, just the same way that you do your GRE, TOEFL, and then you reach out to all these different colleges, same way you have to like know which state that you want to go into and what are the colleges that you're applying. If you want to become a Division 1 or Division 2 or Division 3 athlete, you have to send them your game tapes, you have to like send them your grades, reach out to all these college athletes. Every information is out there. Like for example, if you want to take this, like say in Massachusetts, you want to like apply in the state of Mass or in the state of New York, just Google what colleges are there, and if it's Division 1 or Division 2 or Division 3, if you think you are qualified to be a D1 athlete, you have to have game tapes ready, you have to have your stats ready, you have to have like you have to be ready to reach out to the college coaches yourself. Sometimes they will shoot you down, sometimes they will ask you for more information, sometimes they will like take it forward and they say, you know what, we would want to see more of what you have, like they will want your grades. It's not just through one proper channel. You have different options out there to reach out, and you have you can get fully scholarship, you can get partially scholarship based on your talent and how you approach and what you have to give, and how you reach out. Like if you're ready to give up just in first time you reach out to a college and then they reject you, and if you get heartbroken, if you're not going to reach out on that, it's on you. If you're going to be relentless and you're going to keep on trying, you might succeed. So yeah.
Yeah, so keep trying. That's that's the right way of looking at it. Don't be heartbroken because Apoorva, when after being a successful athlete, you go there and you can work 3 years just as a volunteer. I'm sure that, young kids should be much more hardworking and they should not be heartbroken on such things,
Right.
you have to keep breaking your comfort zone. That's the whole idea if you need to grow. Okay, there is a question from Divinia, and she wants to know that what qualities does the coaches in America looks to get the athletes into their team? Okay, yes. So of course there are a lot of players who are practicing,
Asking. Yeah.
but then how do you make the team? That's very interesting. How do you pick those 12 players?
See how you put the word athletes into their team. So you have to be a team player. Any coaches, America, Europe, anywhere in the world. If you are a team player, you're ready to work hard, put in the work, and if you're coachable. For me, if a player is coachable, I can reach out and I can tell her, and she's gonna deliver no matter what. I would it doesn't have to be coaches just from America, right? It has to be coaches all over. Even if it's your college coach, just show him that you're coachable. Be there 100%. Acknowledge what he says. Ask questions if you don't understand. Don't be scared. Okay, now you need to understand this, like especially Indians, because I was one of them. Okay, just because you question your coach doesn't mean you're being disrespectful. Just because you question the system doesn't mean you're being disrespectful. Just because you question what if this is right or not, you're not being disrespectful. You need to question. The more you question, the better your answers are going to get, and then if you have a convincing answer, you'll understand the concept. So whoever said don't talk back, I would say ask questions, ask more questions, understand the concept better, make it a conversation. It's like, it's not, you don't have to make it an argument, make it a conversation, understand better.
Yeah, so that's why learning communication skills is so important. Don't don't make it an argument because the selection of words or maybe the pitch can make it look like answering back, but
Yeah.
then again, selection of words and your pitch can decide whether you're eager to learn. So
Yeah.
another aspect, that learn communication skills, very important. Uh, okay, so it's just inspiration, proud sister. Those messages are there. Hello, ma'am. A lot of hello, ma'am, but I'm not putting it on screen because I think it's a big hi from her to everyone. So I'm not. There are a lot of hello messages for you. A lot of people saying you're an
That's my
inspiration. In
sister
fact,
actually.
3-4 messages. Okay. So there are 3-4 more messages that you are an inspiration. So I'm just not putting it because I'm just taking up the questions. So
Thank you so
yeah.
much, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so there is one more question. Is there a scope of getting coached from states coaches if you are not from NBA Academy? Okay, so yes, now it's online. A lot of things are online. So maybe I
Yes,
think
there
you
are
should throw some
there are
light.
so many different coaches. Yeah, there are so many different coaches that are putting up a lot of one day clinic, and like you can do personal training with them. There are so many people since now you can do everything online, it is so easy for you to reach out to anyone, and just you should be ready to reach out to a lot of people. You have a lot of windows right now. Absolutely. I would want to say, other than NB Academy, we do have a lot of even I want to say Ekalavyas is someone who did the session with one of those NBA coaches. There are so many options out there.
Yes, I think due to COVID, online coaching became a good thing. Everything became accessible.
It opened up a new window that we even didn't think about. We thought coaching was just going there in person, physical. It is still physical, you don't have to go there. Like, look at the blindfold challenge that you did recently. Like, you're
Yes.
conducting competition throughout India, sitting in the same room. So before COVID, before COVID, you think it was even possible to even think about it? So there are so many different windows that's opened up, and I think we need to evolve and adapt new things too.
Yes, seriously, you mentioned it, so I'll just say that we never thought that basketball can be done indoor. Never ever this thought came. And especially when you're in India, it's just you have to be on the court. And the culture here. Even if you're 5 minutes, ten
It has.
minutes late, how it is, how is it at the court? So we always thought that nothing can happen without the court. So this is one game which cannot be done. But then yes, of course, necessity is the mother of inventions, as you say. Okay, I
Right.
received few messages that
Like
they
I
need
said,
your
you have to
number.
put the fun aspect in it.
Yes, yes, and yes, challenges somehow have fun in it. Okay, I received a few questions, few in fact queries that they want to connect with you. In fact, two of our followers messaged that can we have her number. So maybe you can tell them how to connect with you.
To connect with me, so I'm all on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and probably I can give you my email ID. And if it's I don't know, Meena, what do you think? Can I give it out here? It's like, if
Yes,
you want to
email
reach
ID is
out
of
with any
course.
questions.
Yes, email ID is absolutely okay. I think yes, it's
It's my first name dot my last name at gmail.com. First name with one O in it.
okay. Okay, so I think it's easy. Or maybe you can just DM on Instagram in case you want to reach out because
Yes, I would
I
say, if you're a younger generation, I would reply to DMs faster than emails, to be honest, because that's my fastest source to communicate with kids.
Okay, so we have another question from Deepesh. What would be your guidance for students or players who wish to get scholarship? Okay, I think we spoke about it. We spoke about
Yeah,
scholarship. So, I think Google had, your research will have to be done by yourself. Uh, we've got about
research has
borderline
to
like
be done
how
by
to do,
yourself.
yeah,
Collect
yes.
more. Yeah, collect more game tapes of yourself playing, see what your stats are, collect all your stats, make highlight videos and send them to coaches, reach out to college coaches, reach out to anyone possible with your stats and your game tapes. So this is your way. You're like, it is your chance to reach out to coaches. And I think now coaches are ready to bring in athletes from different parts of the world. They're okay to bring in from people from Spain. They're okay to bring in people from India, from Sri Lanka, from China. So they are open. So when they're open, it's your opportunity to get in there and take charge of that situation.
Okay, so there is this another question wherein Aryan is saying, I'm just being very straight. Can you please coach me?
Absolutely. I have no idea who you are. Reach out to me on Instagram. We can see what we can work out on.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope everyone hears this. Like, you can straight away DM her, and she will be happy to connect. Whatever
Yes, yes.
whatever was the question or whatever it's regarding coaching,
Mhm.
because now coaching is possible
If
online
you're
as
looking
well.
out for coaching regarding basketball, if you're looking for coaching regarding strength, if you're looking out for nutrition advices, absolutely reach out. We have I have coaches who are with me. I would put you on with someone who you can get better with. So we should definitely work something out of this, right? listen, if you're coachable, you don't have to have like someone who is coaching in NCAA or anywhere. Like, you have still have YouTube videos. No one, even if you don't think you'll only get better if you go to the best. Okay, that attitude is like a wrong attitude. Just like keep trying every way possible. And I like you said you're going to be straight, and you asked me that. Hit me up and we'll see what we can do.
Right. So definitely you can, directly reach out. Divesh is saying
Yeah.
thank you. And okay, so there is this last question I think we'll take. We have already taken a lot of time from you.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what is the
No, that's
advice?
really fine. Mhm.
What is, no, I know you are on your off, you were enjoying New Hampshire, and I'm sure the weather is good there. I can see it's sunny there.
Yeah,
So
finally. Yeah.
yeah. So what is your advice for future coaches in order to become perfect and organized coach? Perfect, I don't know, but yeah, organized coach. Yes, that's very important.
Yes. Let me tell you, if you're a coach, okay, you can't be impulsive. You can, okay, you can be impulsive, but your practice plan should already be done. If your season's for 30 days, you have to have an organized practice plan. You have to keep improvising your practice plan. How would you improvise? Based on how your team is performing. One is being able to like score well but not rebound well. You already have a practice plan. Improvise by adding a rebounding drill into it. So one is to have practice plans already ready. Two is to like, you have to know organization will come with coaching. Okay, you have to be organized if you want to be a good coach. You have to have like a calendar. You have to know what you're going to do when, where, because see, coaching is not a 9 to 5 job, right? It's a freelancing job. So you have to have like, you'll have strength session in the morning, and you have like basketball session in the evening. You'll train one-on-one on Tuesday, and then you'll train a team on Wednesday. So you need to situate and make sure that you're more organized so you don't miss on things. When I say more organized, it is holding yourself accountable to like do a routine over and over again. Update yourself with like information, have practice plans ready, know what to improvise on, how to improvise on, what kind of advices to give, what to expect from players, how to push a player to get better, what kind of advices to give a player to get better, off-season training, strength training. You have to be like a lot more knowledgeable and organized to even give directions.
Right. I think Vijay Kumar's question is also somewhat similar. That what would be the advice for the grassroots coaches? I think this would be the advice for grassroots coaches as well. So
Is this
uh, there are a few more questions, but
grassroots
I think
coaching is the same
yeah,
thing that I
yeah,
said.
yes,
Same thing that I said, like more playing experience. Don't I know you want to get them more skillful and then like let them play, but no, I would say it is the other way around. Let them play, get them like simultaneously keep teaching them skills as well. But it's not just only after I know how to make a layup, I would like send a kid into playing basketball. I learned half of my basketball while playing. The more exposure, the better they're gonna learn faster.
right. So exposure is required, and of course, then you should participate in our challenges because that gives a lot of exposure. If you're participating in competitions and challenges, you get exposure and you get better.
Right.
So I think I'll just say thank you here. There are a lot of things that we can talk, actually, because
You're right.
there's so much to learn from you. But I think we'll just let you enjoy your holiday and
That is, thank you. I appreciate that. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that I did this because you guys are my source of connection to, back at home. I just like want to stay connected, and I want to help as much as possible. And at the same time, do whatever it can to make myself better too. I want to like stay connected and relevant. And whatever opportunity I have, I'm going to say yes to like keep doing this over and over again too. So, yeah.
definitely, because I know, last year we did it because COVID stuck, and then
Yes.
we were at home and we
COVID.
thought what to do. And that this was the best way to stay connected with everyone,
Yes.
and to tell you the truth, for basketball players, we see a lot of cricketers, giving their interviews, talking about their struggle,
Yes.
talking about what they have done from 16 year of age or 15 year of age, or when they started their journey. But
Mm-hmm.
then we don't see much basketballers telling about their struggle because there is so much difference between
Yeah.
cricket and basketball. Though I think they should be, if it's a cricket team's captain, and if it's a Indian basketball team's captain, they should be at the same pedestal. But you know how it is,
Yes.
they're not
Yes.
considered
Yeah.
similar. So at least now social media and YouTube and everyone, so we don't have to depend on the mainstream media to
Right.
bring the basketballers to the limelight.
But let me tell you this, small steps gonna create a big change tomorrow. Like right now we are like rooting into like doing our bit to make this as big as cricket, I want to say.
Yes. Okay, I'll just take this interesting question. Are you watching NBA playoffs, and which is your favorite team in case you're watching?
Oh my God, I have not been watching the NBA playoff. One, because I equally coach at the same time, college, school, I work every day. This is like my full-time job. But my favorite team is Lakers, and my all-time die-hard fan of LeBron James. That's it.
Okay, at this time they have not even reached the semifinals.
Yes, yes. But when you have like an association to a team, right? I don't think like it won't go away. Like same thing like India when we played for the Indian national team, it didn't win. So I didn't say okay, this team didn't win. It's an emotion then like it's an attachment. Like it's just like you have I don't know what is about it, but it's an attachment, and once you feel a certain way, yes. Sometimes when other teams go in for playoff, I'll be like, yeah, this team, that team, but I secretly have like this thing for Lakers. So it is what it is.
Again, we'll just leave it at that. And Tapasya says she loves you.
Oh, that's my niece. Thank you, Taps.
Okay, so thank you so much, Apoorva. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and your knowledge, of course. Because last year when I spoke to you, it was different things that we were talking about, and today it was, I
Yes.
think, a lot of knowledge sharing session, I would say. Uh, because I think I just took it forward from there. I'd already heard, how you started, and I had already read how you
Yes,
had
yes.
started,
I'm
and
I'm so glad we didn't do that again. You know what? Like no one wants to know about where you started. Everyone wants to know where you are getting at right now. And I think I've repeatedly said this. Like, no matter where you start from, just have an ambition to go forward and keep working for it. And I think that was like part one, and this is part two of the interview. And I really like the way that like this started just from here to forward.
yes, and I'm sure there would be a lot more when we connect next time. In fact, right now also there's a lot more to talk,
Yes.
but I think we'll keep it for the next time. And thank you so much for staying connected and supporting as well, because I see you so active on Instagram and liking the post and everything. So that also gives a lot of boost, to tell you the truth. One like, I'm not sure how many people notices this or no, but yes, it matters because you are putting in effort, and when you see people
Oh,
appreciating by just
absolutely. I
liking
know what you're
also,
talking about. Absolutely.
it just motivates. Yes.
Like it also feels nice to like sit back and see all these like small kids handling two balls. And trust me when I say this, all these challenges that you put out there, right? If you want to know how you want to coach a kid, this is how you coach a kid. This is the new generation. They want to work in front of everyone. They want to show that they have talent. And then this is like if you provide them a platform to bring it out just with two balls in their house and one phone. Everyone has it right now. And like the blindfold challenge, keep coming up with things because I think it's going to start attracting more kids into this game. And I like it. I absolutely like it. And I don't have the time to like go over everything, but I constantly keep glimpsing on what's happening, what challenge, because I do see a lot of like updates and what a lot of things happening. Every now and then I would like definitely give you like a thumbs up, and you keep doing that to me too. I mean, like it's just give and take, and I appreciate whatever you do back there and for me too.
Thank you so much. And it's a good night it's good night here and good afternoon going to be there. So, hope you have a great day today.
Thank you for having me.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.